Before any ritual can take place, it is highly recommended that the weather magician goes out at least 3 days before the working to read the heavenly omens within nature. You can see here I am actively looking for information within the leaves and branches to see if my ritual will be a success or a disaster. The earth has a hidden language to it, and to those few who can understand it, they will be able to tell many important things by looking at the formation of the clouds, looking into the bark on a tree, or listening for the sound of whistling within the wind. All of these reveal so much to the weather magician. If the soil is dry and dead, this is a bad omen. If the soil is moist and heavy, this is positive. There is a rule known as the Law of 10. This is based upon looking for 10 signs and signals and synchronicities from the universe, both beneficial and destructive. For example, here you can see I am examining this leaf. If the veins of the leaf show up under the light of the sky, it is a good omen. If the veins are hidden, this indicates that a disaster may occur during your ritual. We can consider this one good omen out of the 10. So let's say if you manage to find 7 good omens and 3 bad ones, you can consider this a positive reading. But if you have 5 good and 5 bad omens, then the fate of your ritual could go either way. It's basically 50-50. The more good omens you can find within nature, the safer your ritual will be. Here I am watching the flight patterns of the local wildlife. Now it's important to know this. If a black-colored bird takes a sudden dramatic turn towards the west, this is a bad omen. If the bird flies straight or gently changes direction, this is auspicious, this is fine. If you see an animal attacking another animal, this is a sign that your ritual will be hijacked by a demonic entity. In other words, you will be attacked by an intruding spirit. Now, when you're doing this, when you're out in nature and you're reading the omens, take deep breaths when you are trying to gather the information. If you breathe in and smell any scent of sulfur, do not perform your ritual. Postpone it at least 1 week and then go out again and read the omens. If you live near a waterfall or a flowing river, pay very close attention to the sound of the water. If the water is quiet, clean, and radiant, this is auspicious. If the water is loud, murky, or contaminated, this is inauspicious. This type of magic is known as weather divination. It is best practiced during daylight for around 30 minutes, and you should record everything you find. So, what did I find during my reading? You will be pleased to know that I recorded 9 auspicious omens and only 1 negative one, which is excellent. When inspected, the bamboo plant bounced back when it encountered resistance. This shows that when the magician faces a challenge, he or she will also bounce back. I found that the wind direction was blowing from the south, which is auspicious. The soil was moist and healthy. The branches, when snapped in half, were wet on the inside, not dry or dead. The leaves all had healthy visible veins within them. The old tree had no signs of decay or rot within its trunk. The flight patterns of the birds were in accordance with harmony. There were no foul smells of sulfur or anything like that in the air. The clouds and their shapes were relatively unremarkable. Now the only bad omen was the temperature. It was very, very cold. Therefore, this shows that the air contains an overabundance of yin energy and a deficiency of yang. Obviously, yang is more beneficial than yin, because a yin air has the tendency to carry diseases with it, and it is usually freezing cold, whilst yang air is healthy, healing, and generally quite warm. But I'm not going to let that stop me from practicing my ceremony. 9 out of 10 is brilliant. This all points towards a very good ritual. Spotting omens is all about paying attention to one's own intuition. If you see or hear something and it makes you feel uneasy, but you can't quite understand why, then write it down as an unlucky omen. Always go with your gut instinct. If you feel satisfied with the results, then it is proper to give thanks to the nature spirits. Offerings for these spirits will differ depending on the location, and it's always a good idea to first ask what they want, but usually in the Taoist tradition, it's common to leave offerings such as rice and wine, which you pour out onto the ground. You can also give flowers or fresh fruit such as apples and peaches. After giving thanks to the spirits, you should conclude the reading and get ready for the main ritual.